I made a couple of videos recently about me welding a mower deck, and somebody thought that was kind of interesting and wanted to know my setup a little bit more, and I tried to guide him to an older video, but in the past I'd made several videos about, on my setup instead of just one, so it didn't really answer all his questions. So I thought today I got this old blade that I cut in half here. I'm going to weld it shorter. So I just wanted to weld that piece, but I thought I'd just go ahead and show you my entire setup. And it works really well. Now some people are going to say you should have just gotten a gas-powered welder, which, yeah, I guess you could have, but I had 2 generators. So instead of going out and buying a bunch of welding equipment, I only needed to buy 1 extra piece to make this work. So I have 2 2500 watt inverter generators, or dual fuel generators. So 2500 watt means that's what's peak, and then it drops down. So if you're running on gasoline, it's like 1800 watts, but if you're running on propane, you get less wattage at 1600 watts. Well, that really doesn't matter to anything. What this is it's 2 15 amp generators. That's what they produce, 15 amps. Well, that wasn't enough to run the generator, 15 amps. Like I said, I had both of these. One was just a backup. I got the second one on sale and I just couldn't pass it up. Figured if my primary one ever went down, I'd have a replacement. But when I started welding, I needed more power. So all I really had to do was buy this, and I don't even think this was that expensive, 60 bucks or so. And this is, I forget what exactly it's called, but what it does is it connects both generators together. So now instead of having 15 amps and 15 amps, when I use this, it gives me 30 amps. A Paralink, I think is what it's called. It just occurred to me what it's called. Yeah, Paralink. It's right here, Paralink. So all you got to do is just plug them in to the generators. It's not hard to do. Now, if you wanted to get a generator, just one generator to run it, see, this makes me mobile also. But if you just wanted one generator, you could get a bigger one. I don't know, 5,000 watt or something. But it's got to be inverter generators, because regular generators, industrial strength, the energy is too dirty. And what I mean by dirty is you don't get a true 60 hertz. So you have to need these inverter generators so you can get a true 60 hertz sine wave. So what I'm going to do is plug this generator into this Paralink here, and these generators come with a Paralink hookup, and we'll hook the red into the red and the black into the black, and then we'll do that same thing to this one. This is just clamped on. This is not a permanent. I can take this off. So this wire here, okay, now I run this on propane, so I'm going to turn the propane on. And the reason I run on propane is because I don't run these generators very much. If I ran gasoline, I'd have to, oops, wrong plug. I would have to drain the gasoline every time I use it. And boy, I'm telling you, that's just a pain. But if I use propane, I don't have to drain anything. That way, you don't contaminate your carburetor. So you hook that one up to this one. I've got myself a Y connection, so I can run both generators off one propane tank. Now the cool thing about the Y connection, see, this right here, this regulator comes with the generator. So one for this generator, one for that generator. But the Y, before I was having to run 2 propane tanks, but when I got this Y, it worked. The problem is a lot of people said this wouldn't work. The propane tank wouldn't give you enough propane to run both generators. And I thought, well, what the heck? It was like $15 for that Y. But it does. It runs it just fine. Okay, so this is just a little I mean, when I saw this on Amazon, I was just like, no way will this ever work. But it was so cheap, I thought, well, why not give it a try? I mean, it literally looks like a toy. It feels like a toy. It's just ridiculously small. But this is a very powerful welder. I don't know a lot about welders. When I was in my 20s, Dad had a Lincoln welder, one of those old Buzz boxes. You know, it was like a tombstone, it looked like. I'm sure if you ever seen a welder, that's what you remember. So, but that took 220 volts. This takes 110. It was 40 bucks. So it was worth a try. And I'm telling you, for 40 bucks, this thing is pretty amazing. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start the generators, and we'll plug the 110 volt plug-in right into the generator. Like that. Of course, we got this too. My grinder. We'll plug that in. Now, the downside to the running it on propane is you got to pull it quite a bit. You need to pull it 5 times on choke. And then you put it over to the run position. And now we're going to do the same thing to the other one. See that we have power. So I'm going to do a little bit of grinding on my place here. I feel like I get better at this all the time. Able to see what they call the puddle a lot better. Got my hood dialed in so I'm not blind all the time. It's I mean, I still need a lot of practice, but I'm a lot better than I used to be. I've learned to slow down, and so I'm not, I mean, it's still got, you know, right here at the beginning, got a little hole there, but for the most part, getting a lot better. So I'm just kind of curious how this is gonna hold up. Okay, so I'm gonna give this like a little bend test and see how it does. See if it snaps. Nope. So the blade itself bends before that weld even decides to give up. Good enough for me. So they always say just need to practice, so I'll just keep practicing. I mean, it's not pretty. None of my welds are ever pretty, but boy, they sure do hold. So, well, that's all there is to my setup. So if you'll click this up next box and take the video over my other channel, we appreciate it. Go check it out. So I hope I can inspire you. Keep practicing so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.